Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive. You ready to explore the world of supercars with me today?
Always up for a bit of speed and luxury.
Awesome. Well, buckle up because today we're taking a virtual spin with Supercar Experience Group in the UK.
Sounds exciting. I've heard great things about their offerings.
Yeah, they've definitely caught my attention. Let's dive straight into their website and see what makes them so special. We'll be looking at everything from their marketing strategies to the heart-stopping specs of the supercars themselves.
And don't forget the different packages and pricing strategies. They've got a pretty clever system in place.
Absolutely. And we'll also be taking a look at the various locations across the UK where you can actually get behind the wheel of these beauties.
Definitely a key part of the experience. Right from the get-go, I'm noticing their website really emphasizes gifting. They're pushing this ultimate supercar experience gift angle pretty hard.
You're right. It's like they know they're tapping into a deep-seated desire. It's not every day you can give someone a gift that fulfills a lifelong dream, like driving a Ferrari or a Lamborghini.
It's clever marketing, for sure. Plays on that exclusivity and dream come true aspect. And hey, they even offer discounts on certain packages. 10% off a Lamborghini experience. That's tempting.
Very tempting. It's like they're giving you permission to indulge in that secret supercar fantasy everyone has.
Permission granted, I say. Speaking of options, let's talk about the different packages they offer. They've got a good range, don't they? From single supercar experiences to driving 5 different supercars in one day.
Yeah, it's a classic tiered pricing system. But it seems to work well. It allows them to cater to different budgets and levels of supercar enthusiasm.
Agreed. Someone just dipping their toes in the supercar world might go for the single experience, while a true enthusiast might splurge on the whole 5-car package.
Okay, let's be honest for a second. If you were booking an experience, which package would you be most tempted by?
That's a tough one. But I'd have to say the Superstar packages sound pretty irresistible. They feature some of the most iconic names in the business. Aston Martin Vantage, Audi R8, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, all the cars you dreamed of as a kid.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
They've got all the performance stats listed to 0 to 60 times, horsepower, top speeds. It's almost overwhelming. But do those numbers really mean anything in the real world, or are they just for bragging rights?
Oh, they definitely translate into real-world sensations. Trust me. Think about it. Most everyday cars take somewhere between 6 to 10 seconds to go from 0 to 60 mph. Some of these supercars can do it in under 3 seconds.
Wow, okay, now you're talking. My mind can't even process that kind of acceleration.
It's a feeling that pushes you back in your seat and leaves you breathless. Pure adrenaline.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
So we've got the dream cars figured out, but where do you unleash all that power? What about the circuits Supercar Experience Group uses? They seem to have them all over the UK.
Yeah, they've got a pretty good spread. They've carefully selected circuits in England, Scotland, Wales, and even Northern Ireland. Looks like they want to make sure everyone has access to this kind of experience.
Smart move. So we're talking about Ingliston and Knockhill in Scotland, Landau in Wales, and Nuts Corner in Northern Ireland. That's impressive.
Each circuit offers a unique character and driving challenge, too. It's not a one-size-fits-all experience.
So it's not just about picking your dream car. It's about finding the right playground to experience it to the fullest.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that makes Supercar Experience Group so appealing. They've thought of everything to create a truly unforgettable experience, from the cars to the locations.
They've even got a section on their website called Make Your Experience Even More Special. They've got add-ons like Atom vs. Atom, BMW M3 Family Laps, and Double Distance. What do you think those are all about?
Ooh, interesting. Atom vs. Atom sounds like it could be a head-to-head race in those lightweight, track-focused cars. Definitely something for the competitive types.
Right, it's got that Need for Speed vibe for sure. What about the BMW M3 Family Laps?
That one sounds like a great way to include the whole family. Even those who might not be brave enough to drive a supercar can get a taste of the action in a sporty BMW M3.
Clever idea. Turns a solo thrill ride into a fun family outing. And what about Double Distance? Is that just as straightforward as it sounds?
Most likely. You get twice the track time in your chosen supercar, which makes sense from a marketing perspective. Once you've tasted that supercar thrill, you'll probably want more. And this add-on caters perfectly to that desire.
Yeah, I can see how that would happen. Once you get a taste of that speed and power, it's hard to go back to a regular car.
You might be surprised. But hold on, before we get too lost in our supercar fantasies, there's one more thing I want to point out. Supercar Experience Group also has a dedicated presence in Ireland and Scotland with separate links on their website.
So they're not just limited to England and Wales.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
It shows ambition and a commitment to making these experiences accessible to a wider audience. They're clearly a company on the rise.
All right, so just to recap for our listener, we've got this amazing company, Supercar Experience Group, offering driving experiences in some of the world's most desirable supercars. They've got a clever marketing strategy that taps into those dream-come-true aspirations, and they've got a range of packages to suit every budget and level of thrill-seeking.
Don't forget the diverse selection of circuits, each with its own unique character. It's all about creating a truly tailored supercar experience.
It's pretty impressive. And I'm dying to dive into the details of some of these incredible supercars.
Yeah.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty and see what makes these machines so special.
Absolutely. Let's buckle up and explore the heart of the matter, the supercars themselves. What would you like to start with? Okay, so let's talk about the stars of the show, the supercars themselves. Where would you like to start our virtual tour?
Oh, so many choices. It's hard to pick.
Oh.
Okay, let's start with a classic that always gets my heart racing, the Ferrari 458. What can you tell us about this beauty, and what kind of experience can someone expect behind the wheel?
The Ferrari 458, it's practically a legend in the automotive world. It's got a top speed of 202 miles per hour, a screaming 562 horsepower engine, and it can go from 0 to 60 in a mind-bending 2.9 seconds. And it's not just about raw power. The 458 is also renowned for its responsiveness, the way it hugs the road, even at high speeds.
Hold on, 2.9 seconds from 0 to 60. I can't even imagine. What would that feel like? Is it a smooth acceleration, or are we talking about being pinned to your seat?
Oh, you definitely feel it. It's an intense experience. The 458 is a driver's car in the truest sense. It's all about precision control and feeling connected to the road.
You've sold me. If I were booking, the 458 would be at the top of my list. But I know there are plenty of other drool-worthy options. What about the Lamborghini Huracan? Just the name itself sounds powerful and exotic.
The Huracan, it's definitely in a league of its own. It shares that 202 mile per hour top speed with the 458, but it actually boasts even more horsepower, clocking in at a staggering 610, and it shaves a tenth of a second off that 0 to 60 time, doing it in a blistering 3.2 seconds.
So are we talking about a completely different driving experience compared to the Ferrari? What sets the Huracan apart aside from the pure horsepower?
The Huracan, it has a reputation for being a bit more raw, a bit more aggressive. It's the kind of car that demands attention both from the driver and from anyone within earshot. It's less about finesse and more about unleashing pure, unadulterated power.
Interesting. Sounds like choosing between the two would come down to what kind of experience you're after. Now, we can't talk about supercars without mentioning Aston Martin. What's the experience like in the Vantage? Is it as suave and sophisticated as James Bond makes it look?
The Aston Martin Vantage. It's all about refined performance. It might not have the same raw horsepower as the Ferrari or Lamborghini, but it compensates with its sleek design, luxurious interior, and a more controlled approach to speed.
So less about brute force and more about elegance.
Exactly. Think of it as a perfectly tailored suit as opposed to a flashy sports jersey. It's still incredibly fast, with a top speed of 195 mile per hour and a 0 to 60 time of 3.5 seconds, but it delivers that speed with a certain grace. It's the kind of car you could imagine yourself cruising through the English countryside and feeling effortlessly cool.
I love that analogy. Okay, so we've covered some of the dream cars. Now let's talk about where to unleash all that power. You mentioned earlier that each circuit offers a unique driving challenge. Let's take a virtual tour of those locations, starting with Ingliston Circuit in Scotland. What makes this track stand out?
Ingliston. It's known for its combination of high-speed corners and challenging chicanes. Those are basically a series of tight S-shaped turns designed to slow cars down. It's a circuit that demands precision and skill from the driver, rewarding those who can maintain control and momentum through those tricky turns.
So it's not just about putting your foot down and going as fast as possible.
Not at all. Ingliston is a track that requires finesse and strategy. You need to be smooth with the steering and throttle to really get the most out of your chosen supercar.
Okay, I'm adding that to my list of tracks to try for sure.
Yeah.
What about Knockhill Racing Circuit, also in Scotland? What kind of challenge does that one present?
Knockhill. Oh, it's a real roller coaster of a track, full of elevation changes, blind crests, and those tight hairpin bends we talked about earlier. It's a circuit that really tests a car's agility and a driver's bravery. Those blind corners can be a bit nerve-wracking.
So it's not for the faint of heart. It sounds like you need a car that's nimble and responsive to handle Knockhill's twists and turns.
Exactly. You'd want a car that feels light on its feet and can quickly change direction. It's a very demanding circuit, but the payoff is an incredibly exhilarating experience.
All right, 2 Scottish circuits, down 2 to go. Let's head south to Wales and explore Landau Circuit. What can drivers expect from this track?
Landau. It's a bit more of a traditional circuit, offering a balance of long straights where you can really open up the throttle in challenging corners that require precision braking and cornering. It's a great all-rounder track that would allow you to experience a supercar's full range of capabilities.
So a bit of something for everyone. Speed demons and those who appreciate a more technical driving experience.
Exactly. It's a circuit that would appeal to a wide range of driving styles and preferences. You'd have the chance to hit those top speeds and feel the raw power of the car, but you'd also need to be focused and precise in the corners.
And finally, let's make our way across the Irish Sea to Nuts Corner in Northern Ireland. What sets this track apart from the others?
Nuts Corner. It's known for its fast-flowing layout with a series of high-speed corners that allow you to carry a lot of speed through the bends. It's a track that rewards smooth driving and precise car control as you'll be navigating those curves at a pretty exhilarating pace.
So Nuts Corner is all about feeling that sense of speed and momentum, really pushing the limits of what the car can do.
Exactly. It's a track that emphasizes fluidity and maintaining control at high speeds. It's a thrilling experience for sure, but it also requires a good deal of skill and confidence behind the wheel.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground, so to speak. So many incredible cars and tracks to choose from. I can see how this will be a tough decision for anyone booking one of these experiences.
It's definitely a good problem to have. There's no right or wrong answer when it comes to choosing your dream supercar or the perfect track to experience it on.
But I'm guessing there are some ways to narrow it down, right?
Absolutely. It all comes down to understanding your own preferences and what kind of experience you're looking for. Do you crave raw power and speed above all else? Or are you more drawn to finesse handling and a more refined driving experience? Do you want a tight technical track that will challenge your skills, or a fast-flowing circuit that allows you to really let loose?
So it's about finding the perfect match for your driving style and your supercar fantasies. That makes sense. But before we wrap up our virtual tour of these amazing cars and tracks, I have to bring up those intriguing add-ons again. Atom vs. Atom, BMW M3 Family Laps, and Double Distance. Can we dig into those a little bit more?
Absolutely. Let's explore what those add-ons might bring to the table. Which one would you like to start with?
So those add-ons really add another layer to the experience, don't they? But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the overall marketing strategy of Supercar Experience Group. What do you think makes their approach so effective?
Well, they're really good at selling the dream, aren't they? It's not just about the cars themselves, it's about the whole experience, the emotions, the memories.
Right? It's like they're tapping into something deep within us, that yearning for something extraordinary.
Exactly. They understand that people who dream of driving a supercar aren't just looking for a thrill ride, they're looking for a transformative experience.
And it all starts with that clever positioning as the ultimate supercar experience gift. They're not just selling a driving experience, they're selling a memory, a story you'll tell for years to come.
It's brilliant because it plays on that desire for something special, something exclusive. It's not an everyday gift, and that's what makes it so appealing.
And I've noticed they really play up the anticipation factor too, especially with the gift vouchers. You're not just giving someone a present, you're giving them the anticipation, the excitement leading up to the event itself.
Oh, definitely. Think about it. The recipient gets to imagine what car they'll choose, what track they'll conquer. The excitement builds, and by the time the actual experience arrives, it's already been amplified tenfold.
It's almost like they're selling an emotion, wouldn't you say?
Uh-huh.
The anticipation, the thrill, the sense of accomplishment.
Absolutely. They understand the psychology behind desire, and they leverage it perfectly. They know their target audience is looking for more than just a fun day out. They're looking for something that makes them feel alive, something that pushes their boundaries.
And they don't just target individuals either. They also cater to corporate events and team-building activities.
Smart move. A supercar experience would be a pretty amazing reward for top performers, or a unique way to create a shared experience among colleagues.
It's definitely more memorable than a bowling night or a trip to the escape room. Now, we can't talk about marketing these days without mentioning social media. Supercar Experience Group seems to be very active on platforms like Instagram, showcasing those drool-worthy photos and videos.
Social media is the perfect platform for them because it's all about visuals. They can showcase the experience in a way that words simply can't capture.
Right. Those videos are practically mini commercials, and they're incredibly effective. You see those shots of people pushing those supercars to the limit, and you're instantly drawn in.
It's aspirational marketing at its finest. They're selling the dream, but they're also showcasing the reality of it, which makes it even more compelling.
And they do it all with a certain sense of style and sophistication. It's not just about being loud and flashy.
Exactly. They understand that their target audience appreciates quality and exclusivity. It's more James Bond than Fast and Furious.
Well, they've definitely mastered the art of selling the supercar dream. But let's not forget about the responsibility that comes with these experiences. These are incredibly powerful machines, and safety has to be a top priority.
Absolutely. And Supercar Experience Group seems to take safety very seriously. All their experiences are conducted under the guidance of professional instructors who ensure participants are properly trained and supervised.
That's good to hear. It's about finding that balance between excitement and responsibility, making sure people can push their limits but do so in a safe and controlled environment.
Exactly. It's about managing risk and creating an experience that's both thrilling and safe.
It sounds like they've struck that balance perfectly. They've created a successful business that caters to our deepest desires, our need for speed, our yearning for something extraordinary.
They've done it with a keen eye for marketing, a commitment to safety, and a passion for delivering unforgettable experiences.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Supercar Experience Group, what's the key takeaway for our listener?
Well, maybe it's a reminder that dreams are worth pursuing, even those that seem out of reach. Or perhaps it sparked a curiosity to explore the world of supercars a bit further. Either way, it's a reminder to embrace those moments of excitement and exhilaration, whether they're experienced firsthand or simply in our imaginations.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we'll bring this deep dive to a close. Until next time, keep those engines revving